you see this hand right here? It's a Crusher 9000 hand. Don't you see? Hi guys, it's Crusher 9000 here. I'm doing this video for a project in school, but since it has to be uploaded on YouTube, to send it to my teacher, I might as well let everyone see it anyway. So welcome to Crusher 9000 video. It's about a family history project. So this face right here, this nose, these eyes, this mouth. Yeah, it comes from my mom and dad, but also maybe partly from my mom's Aunt Linda.
Hi.
And she's gonna share a little bit about family history. Are you gonna share?
Yes. Oh, you want me to? Oh, I thought.
Yeah. Just make your speech.
Yes. Yeah. I'm Aunt Linda. I'm Tommy's great aunt. I'm his
Great.
sister, and my brother and I, Tommy's grandfather,
The Crusher 9000s
are 16 years apart. But so I know of my brother only from stories of his childhood, only from stories that I heard because I wasn't there at the time. But I guess being the closest one to him, I would be the best one to document it. So what I can tell you about my brother is that I know that he was born in 1933. He was born in Sicily.
So the playoff will start.
Why are you?
Tony, be quiet. That's Uncle Tony.
Yeah, that's her husband.
He's not related. So.
No, I don't.
So, okay, and my father, Giovanni Catadella, he went to Sicily to marry my mom, and she was about 22, and my father was 33, and he wanted a wife that was from his hometown, so he went back and married her. And at the time, after her marriage, as was customary in those days, she immediately got pregnant with her only son, Joseph, which is Tommy's grandfather. And 9 months later, Joseph was born in September. But unfortunately, my father had left for America, hoping that his wife and son would rejoin him. But that didn't happen immediately. In fact, a depression came, a war came, and many other issues came up, and my mom and my brother did not see my father until 13 years later. So it was not until 1947 that Uncle Joe and Grandma Mary were able to meet up with Grandpa Giovanni. So
I thought it was 46, but go on.
Oh, okay. Was it
47? No, 47.
As far as I know, it was 47.
Okay, I'll just change the timeline at home.
Okay. So when they got here, my brother was already 13 years old, and that was the first time that he got to see his dad in anything besides pictures. The way I'm told is, my father would often send over packages with pictures, and that's how, unfortunately, in those days, they didn't have Facebook. So it was through pictures that my brother got to know his father until that time. And then my brother stayed here. It was very difficult for him. He wasn't able to, it wasn't like today. So it was very difficult for him to learn the language and, to go to school, but he struggled through it, and he did it, and he succeeded. And as time went on, he progressed. He did some odd jobs after high school, and then he got a job in the transit, and he was very proud of being a transit worker, and that's how he lived most of his life. And he lived on and on and on and on, and he loved America. Actually never went back to Italy, except one time. Wait, I almost forgot. He went back with me in, I think it was 2000? 2001? 2000? Right. He went back in 2000, was the only time that he went back. He was welcomed back by his aunts, who hadn't seen him for many, many years. was a really emotional time. But you know, he did not live long after that, and it was a nice trip, but it was kind of like melancholy in a way. So you know, my brother always kept his accent. He always had a slight Italian accent, even though he lived here for many, many years. You could always catch it. There was always something there, you know. My brother loved opera music. That was his favorite. He loved trains. I'll tell you why he loved trains. Because in his hometown where he was born, all right, the train station was right up the block. So he could hear the trains from where my mom had grown up and where his grandparents were. So there was a kind of a affinity there. So him ending up working for transit is kind of ironic, but kind of something that just fit in for him. That was, you know, a very important part of his life. He also loved cars. All right, they used to call him Corvair Joe because he could always be found working on this Corvair in Glendale, Queens, which is where he lived and had his home. So that was a very important part of his life too. Now, I don't know how many Corvairs he owned, but it was a lot of them. He also loved Florida. He had a home in Florida. He enjoyed going back and forth from Florida. He enjoyed driving his Corvair back and forth from Florida. In fact, it's a funny story that Tommy's mom and I
Crush 9000.
and drove with Joe to Florida in a convertible Corvair. And we went, 1,500 miles in a convertible Corvair in the back seat with Uncle Joe. Yes. Okay. And it was memorable, a very memorable trip. Okay. But that was my brother. And that was what he loved to do. And you know, there'll never be another one like him. It's a shame he didn't get to see Tommy. He would have loved Tommy. He loved kids. He loved my kids. He was very close to my children growing up. There hadn't been a child in the family before Tommy in many years. And like I said, there's 16 years difference. So I had the first child. So when my son came along, it was like, you know, a big deal. So if Tommy would have been alive, if Joe would have been alive to see Tommy, it would have been a very big deal for him. I know he was looking forward to his daughter having that baby. He was very, very, very excited about it. Unfortunately, it did not work out, but I know he's watching down on all of us. So this has been very nice.
Hold on. Grandpa Joe, you up there? You up there? Do you want to say hi to the camera?
Thomas, you have any more questions?
No.
Do you have any questions?
Anything that you'd like to know about Uncle Joe that I can help you with?
Wait, did you say Uncle Joe?
About the ship?
Which they came over on? Well, the ship I mentioned was that was the one that the Grandpa Giovanni came over on.
That was
Okay.
a ship a lot of Italians took?
Yeah, and the Rex was a ship that Grandpa Giovanni, which was Uncle Joe's dad, came over on. Right. I think Dave finally came over on the Vulcan. That was on the big one, the Vulcan. Right.
Any questions, Tommy?
By the way, if you want to know the exact date when my grandfather died, it was November 22nd, 2003.
Right.
So yeah. Anything else? Right, from anyone?
Anything else you'd like to add, Tommy? Isn't your teacher going to get seasick if you shake the camera?
For those of
You want to
you,
thank Aunt
for those of you who didn't know, yeah, Thomas is my real name. So,
Want to thank Aunt Linda?
thank you for being onto my YouTube channel. And also, I think those two people right there were watching in the background. What? No, they're watching the game. Well, wait, you guys.
Okay, say goodbye for now.
Bye. See you in my next video.
There's 12.
See these crystals? They have nothing to do with this video. Actually, this is just a part 2. Remember, I showed my Aunt Linda. I just got home from that, and there's a continuation on that project thing, so those crystals are cool, right? Anyway, now I am just going to be interviewing my dad.
Hello.
He says hello. Yeah, he does.
His dad, Thomas Habley.
Obviously, from the rest of the YouTube videos, we all know that. Well, maybe not everyone.
But your teachers don't know, Tommy.
Yeah.
Which is who this is for.
Yeah. But everyone else is gonna see us anyway. Anyway, so now, I remember before, we were interviewing my mom's side of the family, which is my great Aunt Linda, who is great. And now it's my dad's side for my dad. So, Dad, tell me about your dad. Where's he from?
Well, I mean, Dad, I think he pretty much grew up here. I think he always said that he was born in this house. This house was always in the family since 1901. It was owned by my great-grandma, Grandma Hoppin. That was her second marriage's name. Her first marriage was to a Habley. So he grew up here. And, you know, the Hableys, the name itself is, you know, from Germany. I'm not exactly sure what part of Germany. I know one time when I went to Munich, Germany, when I was visiting, when I was paying for something in the store, the owner of the store noticed my name. Said, "Oh, Habley, good Schwabish name," he said. I said, "Yeah, I was looking through the phone book last night in the hotel, and I saw 20 Hableys in the phone book." And he goes, "That's nothing. You go to Stuttgart, you'll see 200 Hableys in the phone book." So I assume that most of the Hableys come from a town, Stuttgart, in Germany. But that's pretty much, I mean, Dad, you know, like I said, he grew up here in Glendale. His father died when he was, I believe, 14 years old. I know his mother lived up until the late 1960s, 1969, I think.
I knew that my grandfather was born in this house, in the upstairs bedroom. He was like raised. Well, actually, I don't know if I want to say where, because people are gonna come to my house. But I mean, Aunt Linda might have said the neighborhood I live in, which.
It's okay, Tony. Continue.
But yeah, and he died in this house,
You
in
died
the
in this house.
downstairs bedroom, down there.
On the first floor, yep.
You know, it's right down there. You know, not that bedroom, but yeah. Now, tell us about your mom and her parents.
Okay, my mom, I believe she was from Ridgewood, which is the next town over. I think she grew up on
West of us.
Norman Street. She was an only child. Her father was George Feller, and her mother was Elsie. Her father lived a long time, I think in his 80s, mid-80s.
I think
Elsie didn't live that long, up until her 60s, I think she lived.
I think Mom said before that great-grandpa George lived until like 88 or 89.
Okay.
And she also said that you knew him the best.
Yeah.
And great-grandpa
Out of all the
Jacob
grandparents.
died before you were born.
Right, like I said, he died when my father was 14, so I wasn't around.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good if he had you at 14.
What else I was going to say? My mother's mother, she had a tough life. I know my mother told me the story several years before she died, that, you know, about her mother, that she had a couple of the siblings, that she was watching them one night, and
Even though she's only 7.
and she was sent to a store to pick up something, and the kids were behind in, I guess, an apartment or something, and there was a fire, and I believe one of the siblings died, but one survived. And of course, you know, she survived, but you know, it was a big scar. You know, it was something that she had to grow up with the rest of her life. That, she lost a sibling. So that was probably a tough strain for her.
If she had died in the fire, then you wouldn't have seen then you wouldn't have seen my grandma's face. You wouldn't have seen his face, and you wouldn't have seen
That
this
face.
face. And you wouldn't see a lot of my cousins' face either, because most of my first cousins, like 6 out of 7 of my first cousins are on his side of the family,
Right.
and only 1 on mom's side. Because my mom only had 1 sibling, and he only had 1 kid. Meanwhile, he had 3 siblings, which one of them had 4 kids.
Do you have any more questions for me,
And the other 2 had 1.
Thomas? Anything else you want to know about my parents, my grandparents? You know, my mom was a good mom. She had 4 kids, including
Well,
myself.
I think I knew that she died of like brain damage.
Yeah, she had Alzheimer's. My mother.
Yeah.
My
Unfortunately,
father died at her side, taking care of her. He died at, I believe it was 72. And she died 6 months later at 74.
yeah, because I remember. I also knew all of my parents' birthdays, and actually, Grandma Dorothy, his mom, is my oldest grandparent, and my mom's mom, Grandma Lucy, is the youngest. But I should
Anything
have
else
said,
you have to ask me, Tommy?
or
This
Crush
is mine to be, not
9000.
yours.
Sorry, I know quite a bit myself.
Okay.
But I know all the viewers want to see all my classmates and everyone who watches me on YouTube, which probably isn't that much at this point in time.
Are we done with the interview, Tommy?
That should be it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks and good luck with your project.
Yeah, thank you.
And that'll be all.
Okay, that concludes the series, even though it's only 2 parts with my family interview. Yay! Da, 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 la, 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 party with the crystals, let's go! And then the hand, bye-bye. Bye. Okay, 3rd video, we just got
Don't show me.
done.
Don't show me, just you, okay?
Well, I was aiming at me, but now we're going to be interviewing me to see what I knew before and after we started this project and everything. So, when I said before it concludes this mini-series, I was just kidding, yeah! But, yeah, I think this should be the last episode, last and 3rd one.
Okay, Tommy, why did you choose this topic?
Choose this topic for...
Your project, yeah.
Well, I had to do a family history project.
Okay.
I
Why did you
can
choose to talk about the stuff that you talked about?
Because it's family history.
Okay. Well, who do we talk about the most out of the
Probably my grandparents.
Out of your 4 grandparents, which grandparent do you think we spent the most time on?
Grandpa Joe, which is Aunt Linda's brother, as she said in the first part.
Why do you think that is? Because of why? What was he?
Because he was an immigrant, he was the only immigrant out of my 4 grandparents.
Okay.
He
Tell
came
me.
from Italy.
That's true. He came from Modica, Sicily. Okay. What did you know before you started?
I knew quite a bit,
What's up?
but, yeah, I'm gonna go into detail. So, I knew all of my grandparents' birthdays and death days. I'm gonna say them now if you want. Should I say them now?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so, Grandma Lucy, which is, her mom, she was born May 16th, 1935, and died July 30th, 2014. Now, here's the funny thing. Dad's dead. Grandpa Jack/John, he was born July 30th, 1931. So, that means my grandma on her side died on my grandfather on Dad's side birthday. Birthday. And I also knew I was mostly Italian because I know Mom is only Italian. She's like 100% Italian, so I would be a lot Italian. I'm also quite a bit, a lot of German too, but the most Italian. And well, my dad's sister, she's not sure for sure, but I might be a little bit Swedish, but we're not 100% sure. I have a little theory, I have a mini theory in my mind that I could also be a tiny little bit of Spanish, because my mom's grandma, which is my mom's mom, had a Spanish maiden name, which is Pinzone. That's how you say it, right? Pinzone.
Did you know that both grandfathers like trains?
Yeah, I think I did know that, but now, I think I was told it once, but then I forgot, but now I remembered again. I think, yeah.
Okay.
And so does Cousin Joe, right?
Yes, Cousin Joe. Okay.
I hope all of these people...
And did you know I was pregnant when both grandparents passed away?
Yeah, I knew
Both
that. I
granddads?
figured that out myself. Because I knew you had to be pregnant starting August 2003 because I was born May 2004.
Okay, so Grandma Lucy was the only grandparent you really knew, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, my grandparents died both of them died before I was born. And, my grandmother, Dorothy, which is, like I said, my dad's mom, she died 6 months after I was born.
Okay. Who did you speak to? Who are the people that you spoke to?
Well, I got them all right here on the YouTube videos. Aunt Linda, my dad, and myself.
Okay.
You're interviewing me now.
Why did you speak to Aunt Linda?
Okay, she seemed to know a lot. She seemed to know the most. I mean, she's, no offense to her, but she's probably, the oldest person on your side that's alive, I think. I don't know. Well, there's Uncle Victor, but he lives all the way up in the Canada area. No, we're not driving 200 miles just to, interview him.
Okay.
Well, I'm not even sure if he knows that much, but anyway.
What did you learn? What did you learn? What did you learn after you finished doing this project?
Well, I learned that my dad's great aunt, who I'm sure was great, died in a fire. Because, I think it's because great-grandma Elsie left the house, but she was in charge. But at least one of her siblings survived. But if I had 2 siblings, which not really, I'm an only child. I mean, wait, hold on. In YouTube videos, don't laugh, but this is my brother, but that's YouTube videos. That's not legit. But yeah, really, I'm an only child. But if I had 2 siblings, two siblings and one died in a fire, yeah, I'd be pretty sad,
What else did you learn? Why is there such an age difference between Aunt Linda and my father?
Because great-grandpa John went to America, but he was, I think, great-grandma Maria and Grandpa Joe, as a little kid, was stuck in Italy. So my grandpa didn't actually meet his dad until he was 13. That's when he came to the U.S. And 3 years later, his parents had Aunt Linda, and in 1954, I think everyone became official U.S. citizens.
My father did.
Yeah, your father did.
I'm not sure when his mom did. Exactly.
What about your grandparents?
What about them?
When did they become official U.S. citizens?
Well, my grandfather became one before he got married. He came to America in 1919 and became a citizen. But he wanted to marry, like my aunt said, he wanted to marry somebody from his hometown, Modica. So they got married. He went to Italy. He married her. He married my grandmother, and she got pregnant, and he came to America, and it just took a long time for my father to join them. My father and grandmother to join them back in America.
Yeah, probably because the war broke out. And,
The Depression too, World War II, the Depression, a lot of
because
reasons.
in the 30s, yeah. Stupid Depression.
That's why my other grandparents, they left Carbondale, Pennsylvania, and came to New York.
Yeah.
Because of the Depression. They wanted to see if they could earn more money in New York. Okay, and why is your family history important to you?
Because it kind of just let up, everything kind of just crossed, and okay, think about it like this. Everything kind of, like the events that happened on my dad's side and the events that happened on my mom's side, like, say, this is the events on my dad's side, and this is the events on my mom's side. They come together, and that all stopped because now it's the 21st century, so a lot of dangerous stuff wouldn't really happen much to form. Say, this is me. No, wait. Say, this is me. And this stupid face. So, yeah.
Okay, I guess that's it. That's the end of this YouTube video.
Series. The end of the series, because this is all 3 videos, so yeah.
Okay. That's it.
Yep, this concludes the series. Does this bear want to say goodbye? Is this the button that says goodbye? Is that the button that says goodbye?
Hi! I'm so glad you're here.